All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the actual architecture of your mind to uncover a pretty harsh reality. We're going to explore exactly why you know what you need to do, and you fully know the painful consequences of failing, yet you still delay. You know the exact feeling, right? You probably found yourself staring at a screen with a massive deadline looming, completely aware of the high stakes, but somehow entirely unable to just start. Well, today, we're decoding exactly why that happens.
So let's dive right into this crazy paradox. Why does your brain actively choose a cheap, immediate reward right now over incredible, meaningful benefits later? It's a massive contradiction. You want long-term success, you want to achieve your big goals, but in the heat of the moment, your brain just violently pulls you toward whatever is easiest and most comfortable.
Let's set the stage with Act 1, the trap of self-sabotage.
Now, to really understand this trap, we got to throw out the idea that you're just being lazy. Procrastination is actually a super complex psychological phenomenon. It's a quintessential self-regulatory failure. Basically, hard work feels deeply uncomfortable, so you naturally just take the path of least resistance. Your brain literally prioritizes escaping those negative emotions right now over securing those huge future benefits. Daniel Kahneman's groundbreaking research in his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, totally flips the script on this. He proves that our brains are actually wired with cognitive biases that constantly deceive us during the decision-making process. We kind of think procrastination is just us seeking pleasure, but Kahneman's work shows we're actively, sometimes desperately, trying to escape negative emotions. It's a calculated avoidance tactic engineered by your own mind. Wild, right?
So you end up with this constant, exhausting battle going on in your head. In one corner, you've got the immediate comfort of a cheap reward, like, mindlessly scrolling social media, just to avoid the discomfort of starting a tough task. And in the other corner, the immense, delayed reward of putting in the hard work, like intensely studying or hitting those meaningful goals. It's a literal tug-of-war between what feels good this very second and what's actually good for your future.
Which brings us to Act 2, the deadline illusion. This illusion is perfectly explained in Dr. Piers Steele's highly influential book, The Procrastination Equation, where he introduces temporal motivation theory. This framework maps out the exact mathematical relationship between time, motivation, and rewards. It hits the nail on the head regarding the core trap. We delay tasks even though we fully know the negative consequences, right up until the clock literally runs out.
Just look at how your motivation shifts as time ticks down. When a deadline is weeks away, your drive is basically zero. You just opt for delay and comfort. When it stays away, okay, you feel some moderate anxiety. But the night before, bam, extreme panic sets in. Suddenly, that intense fear totally overrides your desire to escape negative emotions, and you're launched into this state of hyper-focus. But here's the absolute crucial takeaway. Relying on that last-minute panic fundamentally destroys your true potential. Living in a constant state of fear-driven drive, it's incredibly toxic. It just leads to massive stress and, honestly, subpar results. If we really want to achieve greatness and operate consistently at a high level, we absolutely have to break this chaotic cycle.
So how do we fix it? Act 3, rewiring the machine.
Look, willpower alone just isn't going to cut it. You have to outsmart your brain by engineering your behavior. You can do this by making atomic-level adjustments to your daily routines, just like James Clear teaches in Atomic Habits, building strict discipline through Charles Duhigg's research on habits, and then combining all that with Daniel H. Pink's insights on finding your true internal drive. Put those together, and you're building an unstoppable operating system. And when you finally achieve that ultimate alignment between your daily habits and your internal drive, you hit what renowned psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi calls flow. It's this ultimate state of deep focus and creativity. And the incredible thing about flow is that once you're in it, your brain literally stops craving those cheap, immediate rewards. Why? Because the deep focus, the work itself, actually becomes inherently fulfilling.
Which gives us, let's just call this the ultimate edge. If you want to truly outsmart your own cognitive biases and compete at the highest possible level, you can't just rely on generic, surface-level advice. You need to build a permanent, unshakable mental library. I'm talking about dedicating yourself to studying 50 to 100 high-level books and scientific papers, specifically zeroing in on psychology, neuroscience, emotional intelligence, and how your dopamine system actually works.
But listen, it is incredibly important where you're pulling this data from. By grounding your knowledge in world-class scientific databases, we're talking PubMed, the American Psychological Association, Frontiers in Psychology, and Oxford Academic,
You fundamentally upgrade your mental operating system. Once you deeply grasp the biological and psychological mechanics of your habits based on actual rigorous research, you stop being a victim of self-sabotage and you finally become the master of your own mind.
The time for immediate comfort is over. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, really crucial thought to carry with you as you take back control of your decisions. Now that you actually understand the deceptive wiring of your own brain, what are you going to choose moving forward? Are you going to surrender to immediate comfort, or will you command your deep focus?